Hello, this is Miss Lally, and today is June 15th. It is a Tuesday morning, and I am about to plant these yellow crook neck summer squash. They are ready. They are definitely ready. They have roots coming out at the bottom. And so they're ready to be potted up into these buckets, and I am going to attempt to grow the squash in the buckets, expanding my container gardening experience. I've been had the holes drilled out already. I got an extra bucket with holes drilled out already, so I just decided to take it up a notch and see how I can roll with summer squash. I don't know why I did two plants, but I did two seeds, but I did, so I'm going to deal with it. At this point, you're probably wondering, that's a lot of peat moss. But no, it's not peat moss. When I mixed up the soil a few days back, I did the same mixture: topsoil, peat moss, and of course it's leaving my mind, and something else I can't think of it right now. But I also added coffee grounds into this mixture too, so it's the same mixture. When I did the watermelon, it's the same mixture. I just stored it in different bags, such as this bag that I'm digging out of now. I really didn't have any other way to store the soil, so I just saved the bags and reused them. Recycle, reuse. So one of the things that I've been trying to really pay attention to is the bug pressure that's here. And so far, I've only seen one cabbage moth flooding around. I haven't seen several of them. It's like when I see it, it's only one. I know there's probably others around, but I'm only seeing one at a time. And there's a lot of wasps, because I believe my dad has a wasp nest up underneath an enclosure that he has. But I'm not mad at them because they've been patrolling my hostas. So I did see one slug, but it was a little small baby one. Plenty of ants. And so as I am, trying to grow these squash plants, I'm just wondering, is the squash vine borer going to be an issue here? Are stink bugs going to be an issue here? One of the things I noticed here, I'm in Newport News, Virginia, and the neighborhood, it seems like people definitely like to grow flowers here, and maybe do some form of container gardening. I've seen tomatoes in front of people's houses. But the area it does seem like people really do like to garden around in the area. So I am kind of curious, am I going to have an issue with the squash vine borer and squash bugs and anything else that like to mess with your squash plants, as well as tomato plants? Am I going to have a hornworm problem? Because it seemed like at our previous location, you name it, I had it. I did see some aphids on some mums that my dad purchased, so I got rid of those. But that's pretty much been it. aside for the scales that took out my, I guess they took out my Meyer lemon tree. So I'm just, keeping an eye out, trying to pay attention to the environment while we're here, to see, what I'm going to possibly have to be dealing with as far as pests and beneficial. There are plenty of spiders around here. There are plenty little ones. I did see one big one that freaked me out really bad. And my brother and his wife saw one on the front door. Fortunately, they saw it. I didn't see it. But my dad is older, and I guess, he doesn't get after some of the bugs like he used to. So now that we're here, we need to let them know there's a new sheriff in town. So they need to, peel back. But in this area where I'm at, there are deer and there are rabbits. I see more deer and rabbits. Well, I'll say rabbits. I see more rabbits than I see squirrels here. And the deer that I have seen here are some big healthy deer. And as far as the rabbits go, the rabbits are so comfortable here. They come up on the deck. They don't scram away when you come around. It's kind of like they just sit there and watch you, and you watch them. So I noticed. Well, I've seen some kind of big rabbits. It was mainly some smaller rabbits. And I said, well, it doesn't look like even though they're coming up on the deck, doesn't look like they are nibbling on anything, which is pretty cool. I think my buckets are tall enough to keep them, that they can't reach it. But we'll see once everything starts to grow. I don't really know all of what rabbits like to eat. I see them, they're definitely out there in the yard chewing on the grass. But as far as garden plants, I'm not sure all of what rabbits like to eat. And my dad has the backyard enclosed, so we don't have to worry about the deer coming back there. But I've seen deer just strolling through the neighborhood on several occasions. And when I've driven out in the community, just seen the deer. Because people do garden around in the community. I've seen gardens enclosed, and then there's parts of their gardens that's just exposed to the deer. But maybe what they plant out there, the deer don't eat. Smart move. Okay, so taking this squash plant and putting it beside its partner, and we will see how they do, and hopefully I can grow squash plants in a container. And you see the 3 watermelon containers behind them, so they're looking pretty good. And my tomatoes are coming along really good, looking healthier than they did in the beginning. And there's my pepper plant with that giant big Bertha pepper, and the sunflower. They seem like they're taking a long time to do what they need to do. And this is the new addition to the household, a zinnia plant, or plants. And my hostas, they're starting to get a little burnt from the summer sun. And now I'm going to hook up my fabulous water nozzle and water the squash plants. I am watering the squash plants in, and I'm looking at the watermelon plants. They're just getting started, and I'm thinking, why do I feel so behind in my gardening with the container gardening as far as plant growth? But then I just had to remember I'm here in Virginia, and I'm looking at a lot of people that's down south from me whose gardens are flourishing, and they're collecting a harvest and everything. And I have to remember that, they are much warmer climate early on than we are up here in Virginia. So I have to kind of keep that in mind. Maybe come around July, in August, I'll be seeing, the flourish and the harvest going on. I mean, I've already harvested. I did the potatoes. I did pick the tomato that had to blossom and rot, and I got other tomatoes that's green and just waiting to be picked. So just have to be patient.